ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bleacher Report. I am your host, TD from tdphinstalk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans, and this is your post-game reaction. The Miami Dolphins versus the Detroit Lions. This was a good game. I actually feel like we learned a lot more than we expected out of this game. Without the starters playing, a lot of people, they were worried. They thought, hey, man, this isn't even worth it. But I disagree. I think that we got some really good gems out of this game, things that we could take with us, and players who shine that I'm going to make early predictions of them making the roster. The Miami Dolphins win. They go 24-17 over the Detroit Lions. Zach Wilson played the first half for the Dolphins. Quinn Ewers played the second half, and we're going to break all of that down right here, right now. So first and foremost, let's start out with some of my game notes, okay? The Bears, they had a nice team. I feel like this was a real competitive game for both teams. Both teams took a lot. Both teams gave up a lot. It was a lot of hit and miss and a lot of things that you could really dive into. First and foremost, I did not like the fact that Willie Gay Jr. was on the field. I feel like he's been playing so well this offseason. He doesn't have anything to prove. This man has already made the team in my eyes. Go ahead and put him on that sideline and make sure he doesn't get hurt, because he's going to be a massive contributor to the overall success of the Miami Dolphins this season. So we want to make sure we keep it that way and don't take the risk. It's just dangerous. It's not worth it to take that risk, okay? Outside of that, there's a player that I was disappointed with at first in this game, and they totally revived themselves. They totally brushed off the struggle early on, and that's Escridge, okay? This guy comes out and he fumbles a punt return, and you know me, I'm losing it like, oh, we can't afford this. You know, you're one of the guys that's trying to make the team, and you go out here and you fumble like this. But I tell you, no lie, ladies and gentlemen, this man made up for every bit of it for the rest of the game. I mean, just absolutely balled out, to be honest with you. I mean, catching all type of passes all over the field, making special team plays, and just as establishing himself as a guy that if Mike McDaniel calls on him in the regular season, he's there to game. He's there to play. He's there to make the plays. And I feel like he did enough today to make the team. Yes, Escridge, I believe, made the team today. I believe he made the team today. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the chat. Am I, taking it too far, or do you agree with me? Did Escridge do enough to say, hey, he's going to be on this unit? He needs to be on this unit. I just thought he was all over the field, was excellent. A few players that, made some big mistakes that are concerning for the Miami Dolphins. One was Pharaoh Brown. That false start just wasn't good in a critical moment to put us behind the sticks. I believe we made up for it, maybe. Not sure. Also, Driscoll, we had a big gain run to the 3-yard line, but it was holding on Driscoll. See, these are the guys that are depth for this team, and we can't have that. We have to have good, solid play through and through. We cannot afford to have those type of mistakes. We got to be a disciplined team moving forward. But big shout out to the NFL real quick. They were using the virtual measurement, and one time they gave us short of the first time, but the virtual measurement said we got the first. So I'm happy about the virtual measurement. That might help teams out that it don't look like they got the first. Refs give bad spots, but hey, ball don't lie now. Now we can officially say ball don't lie, because they can go to the virtual measurement, and it worked out in our favor, which was a huge plus for us. So big ups to that, okay? Y'all punch the like button on your way in the building. Hit that fire button here on Bleacher Report, okay? All right, Taj Washington. I thought Taj Washington was solid in the game, but I'm going to be honest with you. He started cooking early on, but then it faded off. And Taj, man, you're right on that borderline, in my opinion, of making this team. I needed an Escridge type day from Taj. And I didn't get it, but we got solid. We didn't get a fall off. We got solid. But man, if you would have broken into an Escridge type day, I would have felt great about you being on this roster. Now it leads me to next week saying, hey, you got to really ball out in this last game so that we can establish, yeah, you're going to be on the roster. So it's still up in the air now for me. I understand Taj Washington is a weapon. And let me tell you the threat to Taj Washington making this roster. Did you see Weiss? I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's Weiss. Weiss Jr. absolutely balled out in the second half. He was giving the Escridge type performance in the second half. Ewers and Weiss was just money in the entire second half. And that doesn't bode well for Taj because you got a guy who really hadn't been mentioned as much all camp. Now he's going to be mentioned. Weiss absolutely helped this team secure this game by his big play after big play after big play to keep this team with the ball in their hands, to keep it away from the Detroit Lions. This is going to be tricky because even the commentator in the game said it. Man, the Dolphins have riches at wide receiver. We all know Tyreek and Waddle, but the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh guy, they all have some talent, man. They all have talent. But let me say this. This is an opportunity for Chris Grier to dig into that wide receiver room and make a sacrifice. See, a team may not trade for a Weiss or Taj, but a team might trade for Escridge. Now, I know people are going to be like, hold on, but we need him. The room is deep enough to, I feel like, Taj or somebody else can step up and play well, help us. But could we flip a Escridge for a solid, I'm talking about solid backup tackle? Could we flip him for a solid corner? Do y'all see where I'm going with this? I'm just trying to make the overall roster the best it can be because there ain't been a season in the last 5,000 years, I feel like, that the Miami Dolphins haven't had injuries on the O-line, and it's a matter of the depth that you have. Do they step up to play well enough for us to continue to win games? So I feel like that's one area where Miami can improve, which is the depth of the O-line. I'm not sure about the mix that we have right now, at least at the tackle position. I'm not as confident. I want Escridge to be on this roster, but this is something, a sacrifice that Chris Grier may want to be creative and see if you can bring in a really solid guard at depth. Tackle. A tackle at depth. It's just something to think about, okay? Highly unlikely, by the way, but it's something to think about. We are loaded in that wide receiver room. We need to flip something. Okay? Just my take on that piece of it, okay? All right, so what else do I have from this game? Jalen Wright fumbled. That's not good. Ollie Gordon ran hard. He ran hard in that second half. But also the two guys we brought in off the last few days. Hey man, some of these guys look like they some hard runners. They hit the hole and they get at it. They bruisers. They push forward. So I don't know, man. Are we starting to develop a little deep room there? It's early. It's just a second half of a preseason game with second and third stringers. I'm not going to get all bent out of shape. But something to think about, something to look at, something to consider, okay? All right, so my big shout-out of the day is going to go to a player that I have been skeptical of, and I have said he better ball out because he was not my pick in the 5th round. But I've been keeping my eye on him because, I've been like, hey, he better work out because the pick I wanted, I felt like could have helped the team even more. But I got to give him a shout out because he is actually out there beasting. He is showing that the unit that he is with is not ready for him. And that's Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips was out there beasting. And he needs to go ahead and move up to that next unit and see how he competes with them. I love what I saw from Jordan Phillips. Throwing people, bullying people, shrugging them off. Man, we need that. We need a player in the middle like that, especially for depth. You never know, Zeeler, Grant, but like whoever, if they get hurt, you want to be able to have some depth there too. Hey, Jordan Phillips is starting to grow on me in a good way. So big ups to him. He's starting to beast, and I'm going to put some respect on his name now. And yes, Biggers is playing well also, but Jordan Phillips being a rookie, yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm going to put some respect on his name right now. Again, you never know with a player like that until they play against another unit or something like that. A unit that's, like starters or even second team. He's playing against third team and stuff like that. But I like what I'm seeing. He don't belong against third teams. He belongs with the twos until he graduate that to the ones maybe one day. So we'll keep our eye out on that, but big shout out to Jordan Phillips, okay? Let's talk about Zach Wilson and then Quinn Ewers. Let's start with Zach Wilson. Solid day. See, Zach keeps playing well enough to where it's solid, but you can see Zach Wilson on the field, how he can break a barrier and become a good quarterback, but he misses on it every time. He does enough to tell you, I can be a good backup for you. But every time he does that, he has the opportunity and he starts to go on a streak. He starts to say, man, is this a low-end starter? Then you get the, like, what was that? So I feel good about Zach in that if he comes in, if Tua gets banged up, he can be serviceable enough to help us sustain, okay? And, with more development with Mike McDaniel, maybe win, I like gauge it 2 out of 5 games. See, and this is a big misconception with people with backup quarterbacks, right? Everybody wants their backup quarterback to win 3 out of 5 games, like have a winning record. But half the starters in the league don't even have a winning record. It's always unfair when people like, we need a backup that if, the quarterback's out for 5 games, they could win at least 3. That's so unfair because half of the starters in the league don't win 3 out of 5. Go look at the records. Half the team in the leagues are below 500. Therefore, half the quarterbacks in the league are are 2 out of 5. Half the quarterbacks in the league get 8 or less wins every year. That's how it works. So the truth of the matter is you want your backup to win 2 out of 5. Now, yeah, you're going to have backups that win 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5. But a fair expectation for a backup is to win 2 out of 5. And you got to be hitting right there. 1 out of 5 is not it. 0 out of 5 just isn't it. But you got to be right there at 2 out of 5 because you want them to sustain. Because anybody lose their quarterback for the whole season, the season's probably over. But you want them to be able to sustain within 5 games to where you're still alive, and that's 2 out of 5. Expecting your backup to have a winning record is unfair to the backup. You have unrealistic expectations. So at least I feel like Zach Wilson with the right coaching can get us 2 out of 5. That's how I feel about it. So I'm fine with Zach Wilson. And it's a shame because I just feel like it's right in front of him to be a 3 out of 5 quarterback, but he never grabs it. He never grabs it. And that's the shame of it all. Opportunities right there. Why would you do that? Why did you just stand in the pocket and hold on to the ball for 6 seconds? So if he could fix those, he could be a low-end starter in this league, but he just doesn't. So there he makes a few good throws, and then he does something about take an 8-yard sack just standing in there and ducking instead of trying to get rid of the football at the feet of a receiver or something. And for those who always hear me say throw the ball away, and they say you can't throw it away in the pocket. You can throw it away in the pocket. It's called throw it in the vicinity of a receiver, but throw it away. That's why some of the better quarterbacks on a go route, they throw it out of bounds, but the receiver was headed in that direction. Or they throw it at the feet of a receiver. So that's how you throw the football away. All right. But that's Zach Wilson for you. Solid game, but left a lot on the table once again. He'll always give you some throws, make a few drives, but leave things on the table. And that's where he got to be better. But he's young in the system, new, and let him keep improving. We'll see. But let's go over to Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers. Rough start. But boy, oh boy, was Quinn Ewers not cooking? Was Quinn Ewers not cooking in the clutch moment at the end of the game? 2 drives left. This man was cooking. Quinn Ewers was cooking, man. Let's give him some credit. Hey, he started out rough. I was like, oh, Quinn, what's that? And you know what? Quinn has to perfect his ball placement because he always makes the right read. He's always throwing to the receiver. The placement in tight coverage is important, though, because you're out there with receivers that aren't getting 2, 3, 4 foot separation all the time. They're getting half a foot separation, so bad placement causes pass breakups. And a lot of his passes last week and this week with the perfect ball placement, it would have been a much better chance of it getting caught. And I'm not, as a rookie, that ain't even an issue to me. That comes over time. The chemistry with the guys, and the better you get, you can improve that placement. But outside of that, Quinn Ewers, man, he's precise. He's quick with it. He has a quicker release too. And he can squeeze the ball in the tight pockets as well, but he also can feel the feel. You know what? I love his mechanics and I love his operation. Tua's strong with that. Nobody really talk about Tua's operation. So nobody really talk about that much. So I'll give Tua some real love on that. Tua's really good at his operation, his manipulation and operation. But what I saw from Quinn Ewers today, I saw some of that Tua operation in Quinn Ewers. That fake toss outside really sold it. The defense went one way, tight end snuck behind them, turn around, quick dart. Like, when I saw the replay on that, I said, Quinn Ewers, yeah, that's nice because the way you choreographed it, that ball was getting pitched. But you brought it back and then found the guy over the middle, had the whole defense sucked in. That's good operation there and mechanics on the play and to manipulate the defense. And I like that. And he threw the ball very well and sustained drives with pressure and held the Detroit Lions off to win the game. Kept his foot on the gas. McDaniel, I give McDaniel credit, kept his foot on the gas, wasn't passive-aggressive to win, but working this young guy out and being aggressive. And then when you hit them with 3 passes in a row, they start backing up and you hit them with a 15-yard run. Then they go back to base and you hit them with another pass. And I loved it all. Good operation. Good job by Quinn Ewers. Good job by Mike McDaniel. And this was with his second unit. You got to see the display of coaching, depth, and execution in this game. And I liked it. I really did like it. I actually got more out of this game than last week. It's kind of tell you who belongs with the starting group to make the 53 and how your second and third unit plays breeds the identity of your team. It's like the old saying, you're only as strong as your weakest link. This was the example you needed. And I'm telling you now, this team, I feel better about the coaching of the team. They're coached up. The operation was nice. Yeah, there's some penalties here and there. You're going to expect that with third unit guys and stuff like that. But overall, good job, Mike, today, having these guys ready to play, making plays, flying around the field. You know, the energy was there. The special teams was there. Good job, Miami Dolphins today. I feel really good about what I saw today. Now, we need to build on this and continue to get better as a team. And I hope that our starters can have operation like this, but a little cleaner, obviously, than a second and third team unit. And we can win games. We can win games. If we can have this type of operation and play calling and execution, and the starters up that by a little bit because of how good they are, yeah, I could put us back in because I don't have us in double-digit wins right now. But that gives me a good reason to feel like, hey, I'm not going to rule it out. I'm starting to feel like, hey, maybe we could still be a wild card team this year. And I know people are going to be like, I mean, chill out. I mean, you're going to gauge that off of second and third stringers in a preseason game. It all matters to me because the preseason and training camp got me down to 8 to 9 wins. So when I see good things like what I saw today, that brings me, hey, maybe we get our act together. Tyreek get on that field. We back in double-digit wins and make the playoffs. And maybe this will be our final test. Can you get over the hump and get that playoff win? Time will tell. We don't know, but we'll keep our eyes on the situation. Good win for the Miami Dolphins. I am Tony Dow with Bleacher Report. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love y'all. And remember, fins up no matter what. Emphasis on no matter what. I'll see y'all soon. Miami Dolphins, keep building. Let's go. All right, I see people still on YouTube watching right now. Salute to all y'all tuning in, man. That's my post-game breakdown. If anybody sent a super chat or something and I didn't get it, I'm sorry. I was doing the Bleacher stream, so I wouldn't have seen it. So forgive me. Might have been one earlier or something. So forgive me on that. Let me see here. Yeah, I think it was a great job today overall. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I got to get to my son's first football game of his season right now. We got to travel. I got to drive 2 hours to the game. So love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. But I got to go. I got to hit this road. I'll see y'all later tonight or tomorrow. Peace. I am out. And thank you to all those who donated to the Cash App. All love. And thank you for all those who joined the Patreon or hit me up on the PayPal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Salute to you all. I will see y'all tonight or tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.